What's up, folks? We're going to do a video today, a little bit different than what we normally do. And it's in response to some questions that I've had over the past couple years about what I do for a living, how I acquire the cars that I've had, so on and so forth. Today I'm going to show you some very general basics of automotive window film installation. I've been doing this now for probably 23, 24 years, and I'd like to think that I've gotten pretty good at it. So today we've got a 2018 Toyota Tacoma that we're going to tint two front windows on. Like I said, it's going to be a very brief video, but I'm going to show you some simple basics of installing window film, the shrinking. We have a machine. It's basically industry standard. Most big shops, almost every single dealership will have this type of setup. And this is basically for a potential customer that wants to know what's involved in installing window film on your vehicle. So without further ado, let's get going. I've already got a pattern cut out here. And like I said, I'll get to the machine and show you how it is. And these are my steps, what I choose to do. There's many different ways you can do this, but this is what I do and what I'm teaching the camera guy that's on the camera right now is how I teach him to do it. And it's the best way over a course of 20-something years that I figured out that I can do it the fastest and the most effective, the cleanest, and it works for me. Let's go. Now that we got the pattern on there, I kind of perfected this deal a long time ago. Nobody actually showed me how to do this, but every single window on every car now has a concave to it. They're not perfectly flat. So to take this flat material and lay it on a concave glass, it generally doesn't work without struggle. So I shrink them. A lot of people shrink them on the car. I choose to do it a little faster, and that's shrinking it right on the glass. So I create a fake contour on this window film, and I shrink it with a live, basically this is a soldering torch for plumbing and so on and so forth. So I take the center, pull it up, I do a very quick shrink on it. And depending on the vehicle, some vehicles require a little bit more, some are a little bit less. It's a Burns-O-Matic torch. So that window shrunk, it's about to be ready to be installed. I come to the window, I've got a torch with I've got a hose with, inside the hose, in case you're wondering, is basic water and Dawn hand detergent. I've been using that for years, it works great. It also assists in cleaning the window. So here we go. Now there was a sticker on this, the window addendum was on this window. It's now been removed. There's slight residue on the glass from the sticker being on there. So I will take a razor blade, make sure every bit of the glue that was there is obviously removed. Clean all the edges. Now another big thing for me, and that I also teach anybody that I'm teaching, is these automotive window stickers. This one happened to say auto alarm. They're on all kinds of makes and models. I remove them on every vehicle. In my personal opinion, I think it's an absolute eyesore to have these window stickers on your vehicle and have them tinted over. And I also think from the tinter's perspective, it's a sign of laziness if these are not removed. So I remove these window stickers. It only takes a couple seconds to get these off. It's 100% worth it. Your average customer will highly appreciate you removing those stickers. So get them off of there, guys. Oh, maybe the window lock's on. Let me turn that off. See, we got to turn the window lock off. All right, now that we got the window lock off, we expose that top edge. We know that the top edge was up in the rubber, so essentially it's dirty. So we're gonna clean that top edge. All right, top edge has been cleaned. So now we've actually put dirt down into the center of our window. We'll reapply some of this water and Dawn. Starting at the top, we squeegee. All right, let's not forget the edges. Squeegee straight down. Get any potential dirt, debris from this window to the bottom. Re-wet the window. You don't have to douse it. The reason why you don't douse it is because you don't want to pull trash in from your top edges, from your rubber. So a mild mist on it, as long as it covers the whole window, that's good to go. So, window tint has a protective layer on it while it's on the roll to protect it, and there's actually, the glue is already installed on the window film. A lot of people have a misconception that they think it's in these bottles. If they see it, it's not. It's on the window film. So we peel off this protective liner. Very simple process. If anybody needs any help learning tricks about doing this stuff, hit me up on the YouTube. I'll help you as much as I can. So now that the whole window is basically coated with the layer of water, we come in, we grab it. It's the way I like to grab it. I go to install it on the window. Tend to slide the left end first, then line up the top edge. Once that edge is in, I will line the window film left to right to make sure that there's no gaps. When I mean gaps on the edges. So I want to see a nice even line across the top of this window as best as possible. In the industry, that's called a micro edge, meaning it's just right to the edge. My goal is to make this window look like it was tinted from the factory. So you don't want to see a big old gap here. If you have a big old gap there, that means you have a lot. All right. So make sure that the tint is even left to right, and it will not hurt you to come around the outside of it to make sure you don't see any light gaps on the either left or right or the top. When you feel that you're comfortable the way the film looks on the glass, go ahead and start the squeegeeing process. I'm going to apply some water to the window film to help the rubber squeegee slide. If you don't have water on there, these rubber squeegees will bite the film and you'll move them or potentially crease the window film. So I start at the top, very similar to the way that I squeegeed out the window to clean it. So I squeegee the edges. I start very evenly in the center to disperse all the tension that's in the window film. So start in the center, I squeegee outwards. When I have this window all the way squeegeed, I will take, and every tinner has a different card, I will take the card of choice, which is this is a mildly rubber gray squeegee, and I will tack the sides. And the sides are basically inside the rubber. So those need to be squeegeed. They need to be squeegeed out, and I recommend holding the film because if you get a little bit of bite, you'll yank the film. So it's a little bit chilly here in Texas right now, so I highly recommend that when you get the film to this stage to where you have basically 50% of the window done, I recommend grabbing your torch, the same torch that I shrank the window on the glass with, and I'll heat that top edge just to expedite the drying process. Now mind you, you can mess a lot of things up with this torch, so practice makes perfect. Take your time, use common sense. Don't go crazy with it because you can burn some stuff up. But again, the torch helps tremendously to speed up this process. So I come, I look at it, and I check it. And how I check it is I'll just take one of my fingers and I'll move it and I'll gauge how stuck this window film is. And I can tell it's stuck pretty good. And why it's such a concern to me is so that when I roll it up, it doesn't bind in this rubber right here and cause the window film to slide down. So another thing I do is while this window is being rolled up, I will apply force to the top of the window, to outward force, so it doesn't touch the inside of the rubber as much, and it also helps with keeping the window from moving while it's being rolled up. So now we're to this stage right here. The window's basically, as I call it, it's half. So you'll take your protective liner and you fold it up. You have to be very keen with your water now. You don't want to generally just spray it, because if you have potential dirt in this location, you don't want to spray it and run the dirt up into the bottom of the window. So you want to spray it down. So any potential dirt that's at the bottom of this window film right here, spray it down, spray it out of your window to keep to get your window as clean as absolutely possible. So once we've done that, it's time to remove this protective layer. So I'll start at this corner and I will slowly start to remove this film while I'm holding it so it does not pull the film away from the glass. So I'm holding this film to the glass while I'm removing it to create a decent removal. So now I choose this particular card. It's an orange card, it's kind of stiff. So now I want to get this window film down underneath this rubber. So the first thing I do, I take the film, I back it back up on top of the rubber to begin insertion underneath the rubber. So once I've dropped this into the rubber, which it's at now, I will begin to run my tool across the rubber and assist it. And again, I just lifted the film above the rubber. So now that I pull this rubber away from the glass, it allows the film to, from its own basic pressure, to go beneath the rubber. So now we have film completely tucked underneath the rubber. I go back to my rubber squeegee, I start in the center, and I divide it up in 50%. I come in, I drop below the rubber. This squeegee is below the rubber. And I squeegee it out. I'm dispersing the tension that's potentially in this window film. I've just dispersed 50% of it that way. Now I'm dispersing the other 50% this way. Now mind you, as you can see, I did not shrink this window tint on this vehicle, but that shrinking technique that I showed you on the glass, it works absolute wonders. So, the window tint is installed. Now it's time to obviously look at the outside of the window to see where we're at. Normally we'll have a small little kind of a crease in this area, and that's where the window film has been folded up for us to remove the protective liner. So again, I come over here with the torch and I'll begin to heat the edges up. So once the edges of the window film have been heated up, I will take my chiseler and begin to start removing any potential signs of the window film being rolled up. Only takes a couple seconds when you have something that burns this hot. And this pretty much happens on every single window. I have it in the same spot. So once I get to that point, I grab my insurance again, because like I said, it's a little chilly here, and I'll come in and I'll heat the bottom of the glass up. And all this does is help you ensure that you potentially do not send this vehicle down the road and in a short period of time, it'll pop a finger up. So this just basically is speeding up the drying process. The heat creates the glue to adhere even faster. So you don't have to go super crazy with it. Dry the window up. I always check it to see how it feels. And by the feel, because I've been doing this so long, I can tell it's at an adequate temperature for me. And the window film should be stuck nicely and no worries of fingering up. Now I come and just dry the door panel off. No big deal, no special techniques. Just get the darn water off of the door panel. All right, we're gonna move to the driver's side, a little bit less talking, more action, but I will show you the machine that allows me to do these patterns cut so precisely. All right, we got an Antigraph machine. I use Lumar window film religiously. I like the product, I like the service, all that good business. It works great. This system basically has all your average everyday vehicles, including high-end stuff, Lamborghinis, Ferraris, so on and so forth. It pretty much has everything in this system. So I generally will look in the system, no big deal, get my Toyota to get Tacoma. It asks you left door, right door, all that good business right here. I click on it, I'll bring it down to this box right here, and once I know that the window that I've selected is in this box, I will choose to cut it. It has a plot icon right here. I hit the plot icon and magically it begins to shoot my window film out of the machine. Forgot to select that. Why did it have to be reset? I don't remember having an issue with it. And here she comes. This is a Antigraph or a Graphtec plotter. It's the same thing that you're going to see vinyl cut on for all your automotive stickers, wraps, all types of stuff like that. It all gets cut on one of these machines. I don't know about now since they're so prevalent in the automotive window film industry, but years ago these machines would run right about $10,000. So now that the film has been cut off of the roll that's mounted behind the machine, I will come in here on my designated cut line and I remove the film off the roll. So now it's time to take this film and put it on the glass, and I'll show you how it goes from there. So we have another glass board on this side. I wet the glass down, and now we have our window film freshly cut off the roll. And as you can see, it still has the remaining tint surrounding this pattern that I want to stick on this glass. So the process is called weeding. I don't know if the camera's gonna pick this up because I've never done this before, but there is a slight cut edge around this window that I basically need to cut into to begin the removal of the window film from around this pattern so I can expose the pattern. So I'll basically cut into this pattern, and then the pattern begins to be removed. Very simple process, nothing crazy about it. Just come in and begin to tear. And knowing my luck, it's not tearing right now, but here we go. So we'll come around, and this is, again, it's called a weeding process. We're just removing it. Now, when you're removing it, you don't want to pull up into the material that you're going to install on the glass. You want to pull away, and it helps with the removal of the excess material that you're removing. And it just comes right off there. Normally, if there wasn't video there, I whip this stuff off of there real quick. But just remove it. It's that simple. This window is now ready to install on this door. Let me grab my torch real quick, so I've got to shrink it. Same process, guys. Grab the center of it, take your torch. I create this faux concave right here, this fake contour. I begin to start heating it. Y'all will watch this video and go, yeah, that looks pretty easy. Try it. You're gonna fail at it first couple times before you get the whole general feeling. So that shrunk. Let's get the glass cleaned up. So again, we're back on the driver's side. First thing I do is I remove the eyesore sticker right there. Like I said, it only takes a couple seconds to get that sticker off. There's no reason why you should have those stickers, in my opinion, on your vehicle. So I've removed the sticker. I'm gonna do a very quick general clean over this whole window. Make sure I cover all the real estate on this single window. So now I've exposed that top edge. It needs to be cleaned. Same deal. Clean the top with your razor blade. Top has been cleaned, and as I said before, we're gonna have dirt wash down, reapply you some water, squeegee. Liner's getting removed. I'll pick it a couple times to basically irritate that edge on the liner. Get it folded up, make sure it's out of the way. Sneak up underneath the tint. Get it to the glass. Poke it in the front. Poke it in the back. Poke it in the back. Lining up that edge. You want to see that edge as tight as possible without going over. And again, I'm going to do a check to make sure I'm completely into that rubber, because almost all cars, they will shift somewhat. You don't check it, you're going to roll your window up and you're going to see an exposed tint edge in the back. No one likes an exposed tint edge. So again, I'm happy with this window. Go ahead and shoot some water on there so my squeegee doesn't bind. Keeping the strokes even. I'm dispersing all the energy, all the tension that's in this film equally, left to right. I know it sounds technical, but let me tell you, it's the truth. So now I'm to a point where I have the whole top squeegee. The edge looks absolutely beautiful. I'm going to come in there with my gray card again. Get those edges. Make sure all the water's out from the left and right edge, front to back edge, whatever you want to call it. Now I'm going to grab my trusty torch again, and I'm going to add my insurance to the top to make sure this doesn't bump down. Now guys, this is not 100% necessary. If it was middle of the summertime, the film adheres a lot faster. But like I told you on the other window, it's a little bit chilly here. It's probably in the mid 60s. So this right here, this couple of seconds is gonna do wonders for you. It's gonna keep you from the tint creasing on the top and you have to redo it and spending more time. It takes longer to get a car back to a customer, so on and so forth. There's no reason why to be doing this. It only takes a couple seconds and it just helps you out so much. So again, I'm gonna check. As you can see, this film is not moving at all. I feel comfortable. I can roll that window up. And it went up absolutely beautiful. Folding it up, I'm washing any potential dirt, which there is dirt there. I know this for a fact because I've done this a million times. Again, removing the bottom of the liner. I take my triangle sharp card. I'm filming a video, Tommy. You always come in and interrupt my video.
I know. What's good? You got any super glue?
No, sir. I do window tint. I don't glue stuff together back here, boss. You're going to make it on my videos again, Tommy. Man.
Black power.
So, same process. I am pulling the rubber back so that I can drop the tint into the lower rubber. Wet the window down. I always start in the middle, as I said before. Start in, divide the window tint up. Dividing it up. Squeezing it out evenly. Anything that tint don't want to do, I'm evening it out. Take my triangle card, drop it into the rubber, straight down. Same thing on the front, straight down. Now I know that this window is 100% squeegeed. So I close the door, I look at it, and here we go again. I have a small fold line there where I had from when the liner got folded up. So again, I go to the torch, I heat it up. Trust me, I've done this a million times. I know how much heat that can handle before it heats up the window tint so much. So I heat it up, give it a couple seconds for that heat to penetrate through the glass. I take my little chiseler, come in there, and I push it out, and it's gone. So I will look over the window again to make sure I don't see anything that needs any potential work, any bubbles, any specks of trash, anything that catches my eye, that would catch a customer's eye. I look it over. When I'm happy, when I'm to this point now where I'm happy and I think the window looks good, I come in there and I heat the bottom up. And again, I'm completely aware of what this torch is doing. This is the same torch that you can solder plumbing with, all that good jazzy business. If you know how to use the torch, there's nothing to be afraid of. I check it to see if it's reached a temperature that I believe is going to dry this film up, and it feels good. So I dry the door panel off, and basically, guys, these are just some of the simple fundamentals of tinting two front windows. Everything I've showed you can be used basically on every single door, 2-door, 4-door, can be used. Now, mind you, there's going to be a couple slight differences. Every single vehicle is mildly different. The rubber may be a little tighter on the bottom. The rubber may be a little tighter on the sides. And that's stuff that you're going to learn as you go down the road. But those are just the basic, simple fundamentals of installing window tint on your vehicle. I hope this could help maybe potential window tinters that are learning. If y'all got any questions, let me know. I will gladly help you. The next video I do on window tinting is going to show you how I tint a back glass on the average vehicle that comes in. Like, subscribe, stay tuned. Thank you to all my subscribers. Thank you to everybody. Peace. I'll see you later.